Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be explaining why inequality is justice. I think this is a really important principle to understand if you want to better understand politics and be more of an individualist. Inequality is justice. And I know this phrase might piss off a few people. I think most people in the culture from a very young age have gotten this value of equality crammed into them from a very young age through school, through teachers, through parents, and saying that inequality is justice to a lot of people sounds like a Orwellian phrase like war is peace and that sort of thing, and they immediately think back to slavery and all those sort of unequal things in the past. Well, I want to be clear that that's not the type of equality that I'm referring to. I think that equality is a proper standard when it comes to equality before the law. And this is primarily because this is a sense in which all humans are equal. All humans have a rational faculty. And now we have it to different degrees, but all humans have a rational faculty, and the purpose of the law is to ensure rights for beings with a rational faculty, because primarily it's in my self-interest to live in a society where rational beings are kept free, and it's in each rational being's self-interest to do that, because rational beings are better for my life when kept free and allowed to trade with me than under slavery, under my control, under my whimsical slavery control. But yeah, so equality before the law obviously is a good thing. But the principle there is not because of equality, this is a good thing. The principle there is because of rational beings, because humans are rational beings. That's why equality before the law matters, because the purpose of government is to protect rights. So those are the two principles that make equality before the law matter. It's not because of equality. Equality is not this inherently good thing, because each individual is different. Each individual has different requirements for his life, different requirements for his survival, different values. Every individual has different values, and equality when it comes to achievement is a sort of relational thing. So to say that we want people to be able to achieve equal outcomes, or which isn't necessarily what a lot of people are saying, because equality of outcome isn't the big thing, but this is just the principle. If we want people to achieve equal outcomes, we're comparing the values that someone has attained on a comparative basis, or we're judging the amount of values that someone has achieved on a comparative basis, rather than comparing between two individuals rather than comparing to a person's potential. What capitalism does is it leaves an individual as free as possible to achieve his own potential. What socialism does is it takes an individual and tries to make him equal to another individual. So the goal of capitalism is you achieve the most of your potential. While socialism, the goal is to achieve equality between other people. So you want to achieve this sort of the comparison that you're trying to achieve is an equality with other people, rather than the comparison under capitalism is this not equality, but like achievement of your values, achievement of your values by your own standard, rather than by the standard of other people's achievements, which is what equality does. So this is primarily the biggest problem with equality. Equality values you in relation to other people. It values your achievement in relation to other people, rather than in relation to your own values, rather than in relation to reality. And this is why this concern with income inequality is not a good concern. I care about the amount of income that someone has relative to their potential, relative to their values, based on their values, basically, not compared to other people. That's a anti-concept almost, trying to compare how much wealth someone earns, trying to judge someone's value, trying to judge the value of a person's achievement based on a comparison to other people. This is not the right way to look at equality. This is not the right way to look at these sort of things. Or not equality. This is not the right way to look at achievement of values. You judge someone's achievement of their values based on what they've achieved in relation to their own potential. And capitalism, the goal of that is to leave individuals as free as possible to achieve their maximum potential, without comparing them to other people. Each individual has different values. To have this sort of this equal sense of what people want for values, this sort of materialistic view of things, which is which is responsible for this obsession with income inequality, I guess. you have this sort of materialistic view that the only values that someone would want to achieve are these material values, these income values, and the goal should be to equalize those by the standard of other people. That's not the right standard. You want to look at basically all values, including spiritual values, that a person may want to achieve in their life that someone may not be as concerned with making a lot of money. And they should be allowed to do that. That should be perfectly fine with them, which I guess nobody's really arguing against, but I'm mainly talking about the principle of equality. Equality shouldn't matter. What should matter is your potential, your ability to self-actualize in this sense, or to achieve your maximum potential, to achieve your own happiness, to gain the values that are necessary for your life. And it is unjust to treat people, or to look at people and try to achieve equality with them. Why is this unjust? Because justice is giving people what they deserve, treating people as they deserve to be treated. So you should be, or basically you deserve to be treated as an individual. You deserve to be treated as someone who should achieve their own values and not judge themselves based on other people. And if you are unable to do that, if you're unable to achieve your own values, justice dictates that you should not achieve your own values. That is what reality dictates. Reality is the primary here, not the whims of people who feel bad that you didn't achieve your values. No, it's your responsibility to achieve your own values, and you have the ability to do that in a free society. So that is primarily why inequality is justice, and inequality is not a bad thing. For more on this topic, I would recommend a book that actually I haven't read yet, but I have it right now, so I'm going to grab that quick. This actually just goes through and debunks a lot of claims that are made by people who talk a lot about income inequality. And yeah, I'm sure it talks about similar principles to what I've talked about in this video. I haven't read it yet, but this is like very much, it's like full of statistics, full of just debunking a lot of the stupid claims that people make that a lot of the interventionists like to make with regards to income inequality and a lot of stuff like that, and wage and productivity. That's another thing that I think this book tackles. So yeah, all sorts of good stuff in there. So I'd highly recommend this book. I want to read it sometime, but I kind of know what it's about because I've watched enough Iran videos, and I've heard a lot of his points, and I'm sure this just fleshes out a lot of what he says. And obviously it adds some new stuff. The fact that I haven't read the book means that I can't fully give a perfect opinion on it and fully explain what it's about, but I have a general idea from watching Iran, from hearing him talk about his book, from reading about this book, so I have a decent idea. But yeah, inequality is justice. It is just for people to not all have the same to have the same material wealth, and that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Every individual should be allowed to achieve their own values as they want to achieve those values. So yeah, I think that's all I have to say for today. Thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace.